I'm gonna be turning $100 into $100,000 in a trading account. And no guys, this is not a MetaTrader scam where I'm gonna use a fake broker and do everything else. Here's the catch. I need to do it on a live regulated broker, and I'm gonna provide broker statements every single trade that I take. I'm gonna do it on AMP futures. Now, I also need to take all these trades live. Let me make it fun for you. If I blow this account, I will give away $1,000 in cold hard cash to one of my subscribers. So let me break down for you guys exactly how I'm gonna do this, the math behind it, and why it's not as unrealistic as people might make it seem. Let's hop straight into it because you'll be blown away around how easy it actually is to flip an account. Can we get to $100,000? Hopefully, because if we do, I'll also do a giveaway. Let's go down to the strategy that I'm gonna use to flip this account to an extravagant number. So for our risk management, what I'll be doing is I'll be risking around 10% of the account per trade, right? So since we're starting at $1,000, I'll be risking $100. If the challenge gets to $20,000, then I'll be risking $2,000. My rules is I will have one trade per day. If I lose a trade, I'll stop. However, right, if I'm on a trade, I risk 10% and I only lose 5%, then I will, if I see another setup, of course, I will risk the other 5%. And again, if we win that first trade, then I'm done for the day, right? Now, my KPI tracking, I'll be taking a lot of data on my win rate, my average risk reward. My current trade statistics tracked back 6 months are a 65% win rate and a 2.6 risk reward per winning trade. And again, I will adjust my trade management and position scale and sizing if these stats deviate heavily in the first 15 to 20 trades. Now, the good part, right? My expectations. Given that I'll be risking around, again, 0.20% per trade, 0.10% per trade, my expected profit on a win is, again, my risk amount times 2.6, and my loss on a loss is my risk amount, and that's it, right? Being X equals 0.10% of the balance. Now, this is where it gets good. So my expected value per trade is my risk amount times, right, the result of what happens when I multiply my winning trades, right? So 0.65%, my win rate, times 2.6, which is my average win. And my losing rate, again, 100 minus 65, 35, guys, basic math, times 1. So again, it's this number times the risk amount. So my expected value per trade is going to be whatever much I risk times 1.39. Now, my expected growth summary, if my variables remain, is after 10 trades, the account should be at $3,600, after 20 at $13,000, after 30 at $50,000, and then by trade 37, I should be at $112,000. Now, I want to see how accurate this is, because this is with an expectation that I will not win more than 2 trades in a row, and I will face at least 3 losing streaks where I lose 3 trades or more in a row. So that's kind of how I got the math, right? But again, the growth accelerates rapidly after 20 trades due to the compounding, right? Because again, 10% of 1,000 is 100. But when we get to 10,000, we're risking $1,000, right? So it's, again, it just compounds a lot quicker and it kind of gets there. Now, what strategy will I even use? Let's make this idiot down here tiny. There we go. Hello. And so, right, the strategy that I will use. First of all, the book map and the order book. I will take a look at my key levels of liquidity. I will be, very attentive to both the buyer and the seller absorption at these key levels. And I will also look at the SRVP delta changes at these key levels, right? If we're at a bearish key level and I see there's a delta change to bullish, that's a pretty bullish indication. I will look at the icebergs and the stop run. Icebergs at key levels and then the stop runs into this liquidity levels, which again on Bookmap is just like the red hot levels. Now, my trend and momentum is on the 1 hour and the 4 hour, are we creating highs and lows? And I'm also going to pay attention to what London and Asia do, right? Like, are we bullish on the day? Bearish on the day? Did we expand and then contract, right? Kind of what can we expect? Then, of course, I'm going to be taking a deep look into my higher time frame to lower time frame structure. And again, I don't like to be like, confluence. Like, I just like to build a narrative by asking myself these questions. It's, does a narrative on the higher time frame correlate to the current structure on the 5 and 15? So again, if we're bullish on the higher time frame, are the 5 and 15 minute making sense to be bullish, right? For example, do my key levels line up with this narrative, right? If we're bearish, do I have bearish key levels to the downside? And are we rejecting at levels which could turn, price bullish, right? Are we disrespecting the buyers and respecting the sellers? Now, also, if not, what would need to happen for a proper narrative, right? Let's say that I'm bullish on the higher time frame, but bearish on the lower time frame. Well, what highs would need to be broken for me to consider the lower time frame structure bullish, right? Kind of what needs to happen in price action for the narrative to be valid across all time frames. Now, my FEGs and IFEGs is price rejecting from an imbalance meaning FEG or IFEG on the higher time frame, meaning the 1 hour and the 4 hour, and how we recently created or bounced from an imbalance, again, FEG or IFEG on the 3, the 5, and the 15. If we have, then that's a pretty good sign. And is price disrespecting bullish or bearish gaps and respecting the counterpart? So again, if I'm bullish, I want to see price respect bullish gaps and disrespects bearish, or vice versa. And now lastly, the most important part is the time of day. What happens here is I'm going to be trading either from, again, a market open time-ish setup, so again, 9:30 to 9:35 into some liquidity, or 10 a.m. reversal. However, these concepts, again, this is just the basic plan version. I'm going to be making an individual video on each of these concepts and putting them as part of the series. In this series, I will also post every single trade that we take. I'm going to post a breakdown. I'm going to show executions. I'm going to show the live broker statement, kind of showing those executions just so you guys can actually see it. And I'm going to take them live. So make sure to like and subscribe. Put your post notifications on, again, because I'm probably going to be posting a video every day or 2 days for the series. And it's going to be 100% educational. This is not sponsored by any prop firm, not sponsored by any broker. It is simply me showing you guys kind of, an attempt at actually doing this, and how it should be done with transparency, with a plan, and not just leave it up to whoever wants to determine it. Appreciate you guys for watching this video. See you on the video 2, where I'm going to explain exactly how I use the book map. Adios.